I can tell you real quick.
Doug.
See what, I think that was the, when we accepted that bid.
Okay, as usual, I'll ask Doug McDowell to say a prayer for us before we begin.
Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, we're thankful to you for this day and for the many ways that you bless our lives. We're grateful to you for the community in which we live, and we pray that all of us might take an active part in trying to better ourselves and our community. We pray that you would be with our council and our mayor this evening as they make decisions that will affect us, that they might strive to do those things that would serve the public good and not serve personal gain. We pray, Father, that you would grant them a portion of your wisdom, that they might know those right things to do. We pray that you would be with all of those in our community as we continue to struggle through the weather, keep us all safe. We're especially thankful to you for your son Jesus and for the blessings that we have through him because of his sacrifice on the cross. And it's in his name that we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Grantham?
Yeah.
Rogers?
Here.
Duckworth? Absent. Bulletin?
Here.
Partee? Absent. Riddenberry?
Here.
Hood? Meredith?
Here.
Okay. Approval of minutes, the regular meeting of January 2nd, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Grantham?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Bulletin?
Yes.
Riddenberry?
Yes.
Meredith?
Yes.
The closed session minutes of January 2nd, 2018.
Motion.
Second.
Grantham?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Bulletin?
Yes.
Riddenberry?
Yes.
Meredith?
Yes.
Okay. Next thing, approval of reports and bills.
So moved.
Second.
Grantham?
Yes.
Rogers? Bulletin?
Yes.
Riddenberry?
Yes.
Meredith?
Yes.
Okay. And under presentations and petitions, letters, and other communications, we did receive a letter from Melinda Cyphers saying, got one I'll read to it out loud. Kim, yours. I'll tell you that. 1 minute. Oh, thank you. Okay, this is from Melinda, and it says, to the mayor and city council, I take this opportunity to thank you for allowing me to assist training my successor. My contract is now completed, and I look forward to full retirement. I have confidence the council will move forward and the city will progress in a united fashion. Again, thank you for your confidence in my abilities, and sincerely, Melinda Cyphers. Very nice. Okay. Anything else under petitions, letters, and other communications? Okay. Under unfinished business? Okay. Under reports, the mayor's report. I talked to Mr. Rosen today about Walmart, and he said that he'd been in contact with a Nevada investor, and don't know what may or may not come of that. And the Save-A-Lot store, which, as you realize, closed on January 10th. I did speak with, or at least I texted the landlord of a possible contact, and I'm going to give him that information tomorrow. As far as our economic team, we do need a contract written between the city and the Arts Council, PDQ, and I have already filed one report with Delta Regional Authority.
I think they were wanting a meeting before we entered into a contract, so
Right.
if we could schedule that, maybe just give me a call sometime, let me know what your schedules are like.
All right. Under Liberty Utilities, as you were aware, that they announced a rate increase of $9.51, and by the time you add all the fees and stuff, it'll end up being $10 or more. And that public service case is GR 2018-0013. And on February the 6th, the Public Service Commission will have what they call a discovery period on brownfields. Edward, there's some movement in the state court, but he called today, and the person his contact was not available, not there. The airport courtesy car, the city of Portageville, when they had their meeting on that Thursday, they found out that one of their police cars was not in good shape. So they're having a meeting tonight, and they're going to advise me tomorrow exactly what they're going to do regarding the 2006 Crown Vic. So I don't know about it yet. And because of all of our precipitation, the Carnell property, we anticipated a demolition date of January 8th, but that's obviously been postponed. Under economic development, the Marler project, we're waiting some easements to continue work, and there's been some improvement in the fire suppression at the nursing home. Of course, not hooked up yet, but anyway. So working on the easements.
I approved one today, the form of it.
Yes, we've got some changes that's been requested by Mr. Kersey,
Is that right? Okay.
minor changes.
Okay.
Okay.
Make those and send
And
them for review.
on Moreland Drive, Waters and Associates working on engineering study. I'm not sure if that's completed yet. The Marler sidewalks, Mitzi Dale stated that that because of some budgetary deals with the state and also the Fed, that MoDOT is not going to do any kind of sidewalk work, and you can't apply for it until August 2018. It's an 80-20 match. The rec center roof, I'm sure nothing's happened on it yet, Wes? Okay. Under drainage, I did have John Chittenden go and look at the on Bell on south of East 9th, and as you can read there, the add-on to the contract for GNC is $7,790, and the other add-on is $6,150. But John Chittenden wants us to consider deducting the concrete work and just filling it with gravel, and then when the summer when the asphalt's available, then do it. So the cost of each one of those projects is $6,750, and the other one is $4,710. So it's up to the council to decide one, both, or none.
And this company's still here, so this is just gonna be.
Yes.
Okay.
Say again.
The company that gave you this estimate is the company that did 19th Street, right?
Yes.
And they're still here, and we'll come
Yes.
in and I make a motion, we do it without the concrete, and that we pave it this summer with asphalt.
Second,
Grantham,
yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Bulletin,
Yes.
Rittenberry,
Yes.
Meredith.
Yes.
All right. On East 20th Street, we did an RFQ from 3 different engineering firms, and we'll begin starting that process in soon, 2018. Light up Caruthersville, Ameren. As I've said before, we're 25.5% to our goal. It seems to be going pretty well. This coming week is School Board Appreciation Week. from January 21st through the 27th. And I did write a proclamation, which you can share if you care to. Then on President's Day, the city offices will be closed on Monday, February 19th. And need a motion to move the meeting to the Tuesday of February the 20th.
Motion. Second.
Grantham. Rogers. Bulletin.
Yes.
Rinberry.
Yes.
Meredith.
Yes.
And snow removal, it's been slow, and the city of Hayti and Mayor Lisa Green provided an extra salt spreader. It's a huge truck, and which has a snow plow on the front of it. And I wasn't out today really, so how'd it do?
They had some issues with the truck. They wasn't able.
What?
They had some issues with the truck. They wasn't able to help us.
Didn't spray any salt?
No.
Okay.
We sprayed.
All right. Then the February calendar, we're moving our. I forgot about Republic. Did I say about Republic? Republic will pick up on. We'll pick up on President's Day. There's okay, the 19th. All righty. So that's the mayor's report. Next thing is police. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to know at the top of the report, Nevada investor, state of Nevada? Or in county Nevada? What?
The investor from Nevada, is it,
What's her name?
is it from Nevada,
Yeah. Well, all I know is he said they were from Nevada. I'm not Missouri, but
the state?
the state of Nevada.
Okay, yeah, that just needed to be clarified.
Okay. I think they call it Nevada, but whatever.
Well, you did.
Anyway, it's on the other side of the state if you don't know. Police.
The uniform crime reporting that we report every year to the state, we've got that completed with the police department. We'll get something back from them showing that if the crime's been up compared to other years, how the crime is here in Caruthersville. Also that we're required to have 48 hours every 3 years in law enforcement for continuing education, plus the state added on an additional 24 hours. All the officers got that completed for the year, and starting in 2018, every officer has to, throughout the state of Missouri, has to have 24 hours every year instead of the 48 in 3 years and tacked on another 24. So we have to, from January the 1st to December 31st, we have to have 24 hours of continuing education within the year for the next 3 years, and it's reported to the state when we take the classes and things. But we have that completed, all the officers do.
Okay, thank you. Fire. We got a fire report. We got some papers there. Back on police and fire. In here.
The reports. We got it in our packet.
Okay. All right, I'll skip it. Street sanitation, airport, et cetera.
The one thing I have is a contract change order. The contract change order for the Martyr Loop project is for the fire hydrants around Taven and the fire hydrants going to the nursing home. The additional price is, that will be adding on to that contract is $47,880. That's still within our budget. The city's portion would be $11,012. There's no additional engineering fees for this contract change order.
So the $140,000 that's budgeted in sales tax improvement, we're still in that budget?
Yes.
We're still within that amount that we have currently budgeted?
Yes,
With this change order?
with this change order, yes.
Do we need to make a motion or just let go? We do.
No, you'd have to approve it.
You have
Okay.
to approve the change order.
All right, we need
Is
to.
there anything else, and are you anticipating any other change orders, or is this gonna complete the project?
No, we had, some grant money left in the contract, and, so they, wanted to use the money to put the fire hydrants at the nursing home. for a fire hydrant at the nursing home and some around Taven apartment to finish the loop all the way around it. And, that's, the, DED approved it. And so,
Well, if we're within what we already have budgeted, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Grantham,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Bulletin,
Yes.
Rittenberry,
Yes.
Meredith.
Yes.
that's all I had.
Terry, we wanna thank you and you guys for the diligent work you've done on the roads, getting them passable. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay, sanitation, you got anything on it? Okay, anything else?
I don't have anything else.
All right, code enforcement?
Just recently, there hasn't been any letters that went out because of the weather. We've been having extreme weather. For the last week, I've been talking to different residents who have called me and in reference to the letters I sent out previously. And I did give everybody a fair amount of time, so if you received a letter, you got to the end of March to abate that nuisance because of the snow and the coldness, so I did talk with them, and there's some other projects I'm working on. Terry worked on a house for me with the windows.
Is that the project, is that the house on Kelly Drive that I emailed you about?
I
Is
think so,
somebody's checking on that? Gary,
Yeah,
is
I'm
somebody
still,
working on that?
I'm still
Yes.
working on that.
Okay.
yes. And so, and if you do have, a complaint, you still can call me, but depending on what it is, if it's gonna be abated or not, because of the extreme weather, you know. So, and like I said, I have spoken with several residents who received letters, and I want them to get by to March. So in March, I'll look for it to be abated. I've been providing clerical assistance to the collector's office and to the city clerk as requested, so. And anyone else who may need assistance, you can call me for this time. We had another volunteer to start with from MERS Goodwill to start with street sanitation this Tuesday. So we have additional help, that's all.
Thank you for being willing to help where we need you.
Cemetery?
Senator, you have anything?
We have.
Okay.
we
Park?
have another one, so.
Parks, Recreation, Armory?
Basketball season is scheduled to start, should be in 2 weeks, and that's all I got.
Okay, so, tell us about the advertising you're putting in the paper for,
Advertising a full-time position in Parks and Recreation to be the assistant director. Called the newspaper yesterday to put it in the newspaper, taking applications right now, you pick them up outside in the little newspaper rack, thing by the door, and turn them in at City Hall. If you have any more information about it, call the call the rec center.
okay? Anything else?
That's it.
Budget?
You have the financial reports for October and November, I think in your package. And what I've done, there was one city employee that was being paid out of the wrong account, with Tequila South and Paula at McDowell Middleton, we got that corrected. So, and then I've listed, I'll pass this around if you want a copy, I went through all the minutes from July until this last meeting. And I've listed everything that we've approved as far as expenses that's been brought to this council and approved. And what I'm gonna do is go through and see which projects are not in the budget. And since we approved it then, we definitely will need to make sure that we have that approved as a budget amendment. And then I'm gonna go in and change the budget to reflect what's already been approved. So hopefully at the next meeting, we can see exactly where we are as far as expenses. So I'm gonna pass these around if anybody wants a copy. And I want you to look at it, especially the department heads, and see if everything that you brought to this council is listed here. If I've missed anything, I need to know that, as I try to go in and amend the budget. Do you want one, Wes? I don't think there is anything, the roof at the rec center's on here. anybody else out there? Tommy, did you get one?
We know that, we know how much we owe for that fish kill penalty. We do know how much the fish kill penalty was.
Well, it was a little bit confusing. If you can tell me exactly, I'll go ahead and write it down. You gave an amount at one meeting and
I
then.
can't tell you
You have to look.
exactly.
Okay,
have to
I'll
look.
call you tomorrow.
Call me
but
tomorrow.
That's why I put a question
I've got a
mark
record
there.
of it at the office.
You, gave an amount at one meeting and then at the next meeting it said that it was gonna be 2,500 less or something, so. I wasn't,
Yeah,
so it was
we
hard.
negotiate, yeah, we
Yeah, I'll get
negotiated
that
it.
from you.
Yeah, we,
Okay,
That it?
yes.
Thank you. Library.
I have something to tell you about tonight that's new to our community. These are called playaways, and if you happen to not have a CD player in your car to listen to an audiobook, you can use your auxiliary cable, and here's the whole little book on this machine, and it comes with a battery, and you can either use a headphone or you can listen through your car. And we got, these run about $100 a piece, and we got them free. We got 40 of them from Camden County Library, so that's what, $4,000 free? Plus new technology, so can't beat that.
Cool.
Thank you. Water sewer.
Last week, we, had a company come in and do the SCADA project that was from last year's budget. Everything was completed last week, and it allows us to have everything, have a lot more alarms on our system for everything that goes on at the water plant. We paid, like I said, we paid for it out of last year's budget. It's done now.
Did
I'm sorry.
we carry that over to this year's budget?
We actually paid it last week. We wrote,
Oh,
checked
sorry,
out. Yes,
okay.
ma'am. We had to have it because all the equipment, we had to pay for it.
Okay.
Other than that, we just been turning off a lot of water for busted pipes and worked a lot of hours overtime the last couple of weeks because of the ice and because of trying to keep that plant, everything going up there. We've had a couple of major leaks in big buildings that we've taken care of and turned them off, so we're just kind of watching that and making sure we still have water.
Since we didn't have a water committee meeting, are there any adjustments that need to be made?
There's 4 of them. But
Pardon me?
there's 4, but I don't know where they're at. She had that in her folder
Okay.
for me.
Insurance?
The insurance committee met on January 9th. Subsequent to that, I learned that the public notice posting wasn't made. And so, while you have the minutes in your packet, I don't know if I can discuss the contents of those. Do you hear any
well,
comments on that?
it's just an invalid meeting, so the meeting's just a nullity, more or less,
Yeah.
so, you know, the meeting happened and the minutes are there, but no action that was, and I understand there wasn't any action taken at the meeting either, so, if there were any action that were taken at the meeting, it would be a nullity. So just need to repost and have another meeting if you want to, or the council could you know, it's an advisory committee, so the council could handle the same issues that are brought up at an insurance committee meeting too. So if there's something that the council could act on, that it'd be appropriate for them to do it.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the city's health insurance is what comes up next, and because that's so involved and places have to have time to get the information together, I think that, I mean, it's my recommendation as chair of that committee that we look at bidding out the insurance this year and see which agencies in town can do it. And we've got to look for an alternative to what we have already. JJ can tell you in the budget, I mean, we're in an untenable position. We're not gonna be able to pay 100% of the employees' health insurance for long, the way it is currently. So we need to look at other options and see what's out there. So I would make a motion that we bid out the employee health insurance policy.
Need a second?
Second.
Can't do it one time. Go ahead.
just a little discussion. Are you going to get Lawrence to work with you to put out the request for proposals?
Yes, I can do that, yeah.
And I agree, it doesn't hurt to bid it out.
Yeah.
I mean, you may find we can't do anything different than we're doing, but we
Exactly.
may find something that we can do.
And we might need additional advice too with respect, we're in that, self-insured program now, so I might need some specialized assistance too in sorting through those issues. So if I do, I'll let y'all know, but,
Yeah, but there's no way to know what else is out there unless we go through the process.
I also think due to the fact that this April 30th is the last.
Yes.
I think timeliness is important here because it's gonna be a project in which those that wish to bid are gonna need a lot of information to sort through. And they need time to come and talk with the committee. We'd like to meet with those individuals to answer questions, so.
Yeah.
You got a motion and a
Yes.
second?
Grantham,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Bulletin,
Yes.
Rittenberry,
Yes.
Meredith.
Yes.
New business?
I don't think I don't know where to ask this, so you can tell me we've discussed several times, and it's come up from the floor several times about videotaping our meetings, and I know you're videotaping on the iPad, but I think that we should get someone to give us an estimate to get a video camera where we're videotaping the city council, and if the audience feels like we need microphones, then I have no problem putting a microphone on each table. But I do think that we need to record them in a professional manner, and they need to be put up on the website in a timely manner.
They
So
are.
I would like to make a request, a motion, whatever needs to happen, that we seek bids and get the equipment necessary to properly record these meetings.
I did contact Civil Lines, but they never showed up. And that's who did a lot of work around here.
Well, we've got people locally that could probably help get those bids, one being Mr. Guest, I believe. So it's not difficult. You can go buy a camera at Best Buy and put it on a tripod.
Okay.
Have a USB cord, record the meetings, plug it into your computer and upload it. So I think we need to do it.
Okay.
Did you make a motion?
Why don't you make a
If
motion?
the motion is necessary, I do make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second
If you wanna save money, I can record the meeting.
That's awesome. And you can set it up and record it for us, and,
So I get to do the shopping and all that stuff?
well, I don't know about that. It depends on what kind of shopper you are.
Well, I probably take Terry, he more high tech than me, I wouldn't know
Well,
what.
if you can help seek out the kind of equipment we need, that's awesome. But I do think somebody like Sonia that can actually do the recording, and Randy could teach her how to upload it, I think would be great.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Grantham,
it. Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Bulletin,
yes.
Rittenberry,
Yes.
Meredith.
Yes.
So was that both for video and,
If, do y'all think we need microphones on our tables?
yes?
Then get the
What
price.
the heck, I could get those up too.
Okay.
Okay. Any other new business? All right, call from business from the floor. If you have business from the floor, stand up. Identify yourself. Yes, sir.
I talked to, maybe Representative McDaniel can help with this. I talked to Tara Gardner today. I've been bringing up about the blue signs on the interstate and advertising about fuel, food, and everything. With the ice and stuff, the other day I was stopped by several vehicles that came into Caruthersville wanting to know where to go get gas, where to go get something to eat, and where they can stop and rest for a little bit. And I talked to Tara Gardner today, and she's been wondering who does she need to contact to get on the sign and how to get that done. So that's one thing that would help out here in town, get a little bit of the business off the interstate. So I keep talking about that.
Good idea.
That's all I have.
Anything else on the floor? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about the minutes too, but y'all already addressed that. If the city is gonna buy microphones, it's gonna have to, I got a $900 program that I'll, install on the city's computer to record each individual microphone. That'll help with those minutes, make them be more accurate. And it wouldn't be a cluster trying to figure out who's actually talking, because everybody's, microphone would be on a separate channel. I'll provide that to the city if they're gonna buy the microphones for that.
So we need to make sure we have appropriate licensing for use of that software is the only thing I didn't hear.
Okay. Any other business from the floor? Yes.
There were some questions about the tax statements.
About what?
Some people were questioning me about the stuff that was in the paper. I don't print city statements. They're printed by the city clerk, or by the county clerk. I don't know how many parcels you have, but I know there's gotta be, we have a software system. I've worked in the collector's office for a long time. I came from when we pulled the statements by hand, posted them. We now have barcodes, we scan our statements. That's available to you. Of course, it's gonna be expensive up front to buy the program. Then you would have to pay annual software maintenance. It does make your collections easier. You have a report at the end of the day that shows what you collected, whether it was cash, whether it was check. But I've given that information to more than one person to contact. You don't have to use the software company that I use. If, you know, you can use anybody that's got a package to collect the taxes. I don't know what an ordeal it would be to install that, and because you have no system right now, but I know that
We need one.
you need one.
And we don't want to reinvent the wheel, so we probably want to use the same one you do.
Like I said, I've given that information to other people. I'll be glad to give them the contact information. It would make your collector a lot easier.
Okay.
And let me add this in. During tax season, we've had and there was a, issue about the mortgage companies. They send me a request every year for the tax statements that they want to pay. First thing I do in my software system, and if you buy a software system, you go in and code those, and they print out in a separate batch for you to mail to them, and you don't have to pull them out. Makes your life easier. But this year, I understand that they didn't get them, and it was very confusing to a lot of taxpayers and the mortgage companies.
Okay. So you can text that to me tomorrow?
Sorry?
Text that to me tomorrow?
I'll be glad to send you
What's-
contact
Thank you.
information.
What's the name of that?
We are with DevNet. We're with DevNet.
DevNet?
DEVNET. They have, several states, not just Missouri, that they have collectors and assessors and have various programs available. Like I said, I really think the city would be better off. It would cost you up front, but you're gonna save in the long run, because one person could definitely handle it if they had that available to them to post and do like we do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anybody? Yes? Sorry.
Question about the Cornell property.
State your name.
Jerry Johnson. I live next door to the Cornell property there on Carroll. I've talked to several people. I've talked to Mr. Dorr and several other people around town about buying that piece of property, and then they've decided to tear it down. And I've been trying to buy it with the house on it, because I want to remodel the house and use it for my own. I've been taking care of the yard ever since I've lived there, and it was a jungle next door when I moved in. I went over, cleaned it up, mowed it, burnt several lawnmower blades. But they've told me. Yeah, you're right. I'm just trying to keep rodents out of my house.
Go ahead.
I've been talking to several people, said they were gonna tear it down and I could buy the property, but I can't buy the property with the house still. I'm wondering, what's the status on that?
Well, you know, from the city standpoint, we have no ownership interest in the property. We brought an action to, through our administrative process within the city to abate the nuisance and to tear down the house. The city has held a hearing with respect to that, with published notice, and the city's building commissioner has issued an order that the building be demolished. So I guess the city's moving forward with that order. As far as buying it, you know, we have no ownership interest, so there's no way we can, you know, there's nothing we can do with respect to that. And I understand there are no heirs to the estate.
It'll be available for tax sale in August of this year.
Right, well, I've checked on buying it on taxes, but then they're gonna
Mhm.
demolish the house, so
Yeah,
I'm buying a piece of property for the same amount, or I can buy it with a house for the same amount, so what I'm looking at to remodel it.
right,
It won't be a nuisance.
right. So the city could either move forward with its order, or the city could stay that order and not.
I think we need to keep going, get rid of it. It's been, how many years now?
Why? Why?
3, it's been 3 years.
No, no, but if we've got somebody that wants to buy it and remodel it. why
It's
would
not
we-
our property.
Well, I know that, but I mean, we can work with this individual to
I mean, I can buy the
allow
property
him
on
to
taxes, so.
buy it for through whatever
You'll
process
be
he
able
can
to
buy
buy it in my
it.
office,
Right.
in August of this year will be a first sale.
Yeah,
Of course,
we-
you wouldn't have
I'll-
tax
I'll-
sale
That's
for
Terry's
a year.
opinion of it.
Okay.
I'll keep it.
Well, I mean, and that's what we're here to hear. I mean, is it possible for it to be remodeled? Is it a hazard? I mean.
Well, that's what I was getting ready
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Been in it.
I've looked in the window, but I haven't been in it.
It was, there,
Pretty sure it's
Obviously.
I think there's maybe some biological hazards
Extreme.
in the house from
Extreme.
what I understand. And that was the finding of the building commissioner.
If the circumstance that occurred and the timing that it occurred and how long the duration, it's pretty gross.
Oh, I mean, I understand.
It's beyond
I know
gross.
what happened there.
And I talked to DNR and they told me exactly what to do. And this building is going to be put in roll-offs, and and it's going to be in a particular place in Poplar Bluff where they're going to dump it because it's considered an environmental hazard.
So are they gonna tint it before they tear it down if
What
it's
is that?
hazardous, or, I mean?
Oh, I don't know what they're,
Lauren,
ask if they were going
I
to use
can
tents.
tell you, I can tell them how much it would probably cost you if the
Oh, I know,
biohazard team has to come in and clean
I
it.
know it's gotta be good.
It's gonna cost you probably about $40,000 for them to come in and clean it. Just the part where he was, I'm not gonna get into
I mean,
it.
Well, it wasn't just that part either, from the evidence that there were hazards throughout the house.
Yeah,
but,
throughout the house also.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it before I put this other.
It's really bad.
It's a biohazard.
More than hoarding.
Yeah.
What, Terry?
It was more than hoarding.
Okay, so my recommendation would be we continue with the demolition of the house. I do appreciate your interest, though. Okay. Someone else stood up for a sec. Yes, sir. State your name.
My name is Junior Hoffman. I'm just a citizen. Over here at the top it says credibility, fairness, and excellence. And they're in like bold letters. So I'm taking that as that's like pretty important to you, correct? Well, I'd like to ask, what's ethical about you taking upon yourself, your view only, how a person makes their living? What's fair on you getting to decide how they make that living? And when somebody tries to better themselves, do you come in and destroy their things, property on that, how they're making their living? You take all this upon yourself.
I have no comment.
I mean, if somebody came into your residence, into your yard, and destroyed your property, you'd be pretty upset, correct?
I have no comment.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Yes.
I was wondering, why is
State your name.
June Barnett. Actually, I'm with him, but my question was supposed to the city council. Are you aware that charges was brought against the mayor and he still has not been arrested for burglary, breaking and entering, because he entered our residence without our permission? And we have filed a police report, and the prosecuting attorney said that it was political. I don't see how it's political when we're both human beings. I get arrested when I break the law. You entered our home, you destroyed our property, you spit in my face, and you said you could get away with it because you were the mayor. And you had your men that work for the city, they did not want to crush our belongings. One of them's my uncle, but you pulled rank and told them they had to because you're the mayor and you get what the F you want. and they will do what the F you say. So my question is, how is it that you are above the law? Because you're the mayor?
No comment. Anybody else? On the floor? Yes, sir.
I'm not a citizen, but some of you probably know I'm State Representative Andrew McDaniel. I'm just here to show and see local government in action. I've seen plenty of it. And my assistant here, John, who works at the Capitol with me. He's got cards for individuals that need help. The government officials have sent y'all letters with my phone numbers. I'm easy to contact. If there's any issue that the citizens need help with, that the government needs help with, that I can help ease the pain of regulations or whatever, I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm here for y'all's assistance. And I'll leave some of the cards on the desk for the citizens to get, and that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Ms. Barnett and Mr. Hoskins, that hurt my feelings, what you said happened to you. And though the mayor is not in a position to make a statement, I will apologize for being in this position, for that to happen to you. And no, we didn't know details, but
I think you, man.
I mean, that hurts me to know that, and it's an alleged
Maybe we should add
situation.
that we are homeless because we could not pay our bills. His mother had to give us a home, and I have a 16-year-old daughter. He got arrested for putting his head in a doorway. He entered our home and crushed $6,000 worth of personal property that I have obtained over 40 years, and he's yet to be picked up. Now, where is that above the law? I got arrested for dropping a lottery ticket that I picked up off the ground for fines for loitering. I'm not understanding why he's not been arrested yet. He's not God.
I don't understand.
That is just my question. I mean,
And I don't understand a lot of it either. We haven't been brought in on that, but I just want to offer my sincere apologies for you having to go through something like that.
Thank you.
Even though it's alleged, we don't know facts yet, but I apologize. And if there's anything that I can do to assist you, I work with the Day Out program on the disabled homeless, and if I get in touch with me, and I'll see what I can do. That hurts.
Anyone else on the floor? Yes, sir.
My name's Robert Travis. I'm from this area, and I sit and listen to this. I'm a local pastor. It's very disturbing to hear these things. I do want to say to y'all, if you're being homeless, if you'll speak to me afterwards, I have some help that I can provide for you. But I would stand here today, and I'm trying to choose my words wisely, but I would ask, I said this before I come in, I'd like to ask if there's anybody in this room that knows what a leader is. Does anybody know what a leader is? I'm willing to listen to anyone who knows what a leader is. I know there's college-educated people in here, but who knows what a true leader is?
The number one requirement is to have a servant's heart.
A servant's heart. A leader is someone who's in control or is in charge. Listen to me, you can go find Webster and look at it all day. A leader is someone who is in control and is in charge, but realizes they may not be the best person to get a specific job done, but knows how to put people in place to make it happen. It's obvious, based off just the short time I've been here and listened to what's happened over the last few months, that this has no leadership. And to listen to the comments, well, I have no comment. A leader has comments. They'll at least make some kind of statement. That's what I'm going to say. And it hurts me because I'm from here. This community is my pride and joy. And I'm trying to do everything that I know to do from this point forward to better serve our communities. I'm actually from Cottonwood Point, the Steele, Cooter, Holland, Caruthersville. Pemiscott County is my surrounding area, my home. And I'd love to see this area get leadership.
Anyone else from the floor? Yes, ma'am.
When are we gonna get all the
time, and when is the council gonna be privy to all information that you've been holding from them?
I didn't understand, hear you quite.
When are you gonna give the council all the things they have asked for in the past, what, 3 months?
And
Contract.
specifically,
Oh, yeah, let's see, we got the MoDOT contract, the Riggs contract, the cemetery.
they've got the
information,
MoDOT
cemetery
contract.
minutes,
They've got the MoDOT what else?
The cemetery minutes, the cemetery contract, the contract with Riggs, the settlement from the lawsuit against you that was settled without any of them being able to discuss settlement. When is any of that going to be given out?
You want to address
I'm
any of that?
asking you.
No comment.
Yeah.
No comment.
I don't know. I think there's a responsibility to provide the information to the council.
Yes.
That'd be my comment with
Right.
respect to it.
And so anyway, and one of those documents, the highway document that we signed, that I signed, they got today, or it was whatever the packet was mailed out, sent out, and the other things we have, but we don't have the minutes of the cemetery. We don't have them. Will you give us send us another copy? Send us another copy.
I can't.
Well, she doesn't have them, so she can't produce them. She doesn't have them. She doesn't have
Don't
them.
have what? I gave them, they've had all the minutes from the cemetery that you sent
That
me.
is correct. I have
But at the
So-
cemetery meeting, he said that nobody could find them, and he said that you had them and you didn't know where you put them.
That's right.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was some, there was at a time when you had, I think, Councilperson Bulletin was asking for a revision. And I never did get those, the revised.
That's right, because the
Minutes.
revised was from the minutes that you provided, not that I provided. You were supposed to give them the revision, and you have yet to do so. I have
No,
attended.
we didn't have a meeting on the revisions.
There's been 2 meetings since
So,
then.
That is correct, and you
Anyway.
have minutes
anyway,
that I did for both. And as far as a contract between the cemetery and Riggs, am I allowed to answer that?
That's in the packet.
There isn't one.
yes, there is.
There's a.
There is a
It was just
contract-
provided late.
There's a contract in the packet, Melissa, that you probably aren't even aware of.
Okay.
And I think you need a copy of it, and then, so you all can proceed with your
Right.
business, because, so you can look at this contract and decide if it's the way you want it written, or if y'all wanna revise it. So I think the contract is in the packet.
Right.
My opinion is that you give it to the cemetery committee, so then they can
Because
take it and go from there.
when we were here the other
can
night, there
have
was
mine.
no signed contract.
It was verbal.
Exactly.
Virtually everything in the
It was
packet's
through the
public
bid
record.
process. There was a request for bids, and there was a bid that was submitted, and that forms the basis of the contract.
Right. He had just said that there was a signed contract, but again, that's a whole nother,
Yeah, he said that you didn't send it to him.
yeah, it was your fault. But
Here is you gotta give it to her, so she'll have a
How
copy.
many copies? How many need a copy?
thank you.
Well, I think just you need a copy. I do have one question on this contract with MoDOT.
Yes,
It's a adopt a highway agreement.
yes.
I don't see anything to sign. So I guess did we sign anything?
No.
Okay, so there has not been a contract.
Well, it's not really a contract. You just mark that you're adopting a highway
Okay.
and who the contact person is and what you're doing.
Okay, up at the top, it says check all that apply.
Yes,
It says litter pickup,
yes,
mowing,
yes,
and beautification.
yes.
We have not approved mowing that area.
Not yet.
Okay, so are we in violation of this agreement that you
No.
signed? Okay, so we don't have to mow it?
No.
Okay,
It says down, I believe it says somewhere if you don't do it, then you just
okay.
default, it's invalid or something.
I got one more question. Down at the bottom, under administrative rules, it says the adopter shall comply with the administrative rules of the Missouri Department of Transportation under Title VII, Chapter 14, including any rules promulgated or amended after this date of agreement. So are there any rules that we need to be aware of, is what I'm asking.
I'm sure they have rules for the.
Yes, they always have rules.
What they are, I don't know.
So even though we've signed this contract, we're not
Can
obligated to
sign
mow?
it. Okay.
Nothing signed, is that what you're saying?
Well, I typed it. And it typed. Yeah.
You type this?
Oh, it's online.
Okay. So you put your signature on, electronic signature?
Well, I don't say signature. Or just to the top.
Was it more than one page?
This is all we got. This
Yeah.
is one page. And up at the top it says litter pickup, mowing, and beautification.
Exactly.
Looks like it on the floor.
Anything else from the floor? Yes?
I still haven't got the question answered as to where is the copy of the settlement from the lawsuit that was against you. I requested it on January the 4th, it's now January the 18th, it puts you in violation of the Sunshine Law.
Is that public record?
It's public record.
Okay.
And the council needs to see
You
that
said you
too.
requested it. You probably ought to put it. I told you when you want a public document. When you want a public document, you need to sign exactly what you want and give it to us. Not to me. I didn't get it.
To you. You
Okay.
brought me the packet, and I filled it out as you suggested. I sent it in on January the 4th. It is now January the 18th. I've still not received it.
I've not ever seen it. Where did you send it?
just told me not to
Where'd you send it
I
to?
sent it to Tequila.
I haven't received anything.
You responded back to me and said you didn't know where to find it to ask Lawrence.
Yeah, he's the
Lawrence
lawyer.
then told me that you're responsible for doing it.
Well, I can't release anything. I've still got a
They won't send me
confidentiality
anything.
myself. And it should come through the records custodian. And I don't know if you've got it. I gave a copy to the mayor. I don't know if you've got a copy of it or
No,
not.
I haven't seen anything.
Okay. It may be that you don't have a copy of it.
I don't.
Okay.
Does the council have a copy of the settlement?
No.
Did the council help decide that they wanted to settle?
They don't have a choice.
They didn't have a choice.
No, it's the insurance company's choice always.
So we just decided to just pay $30,000, no discussion with our
We-
council.
The insurance company decides what to pay, and then we have $1,000 deductible. So the city paid 1,000.
So again, you broke the law, you went out of bounds, and you didn't get anything but a little slap on the hand. You're still sitting there, directing traffic.
Doug's got his hand up, so I'll let him speak before I say.
I just wanted to ask Lawrence, how many days are there under the Sunshine Law once a request is made before it's supposed to be submitted?
72 hours.
72 hours. Thank you.
That's right.
And here, well, it's been way past 72 hours, but if there was a settlement agreement, I think that that agreement should at least be shared with the council. And if it's public record and it's requested, by law, you have to provide it. If you did not give a copy to Tequila should not sit here and have to have fingers pointed at her. If the attorney gave it to you and you never gave it to her, then she can't provide what was requested of her.
Didn't you give the council in closed session the thing?
No.
No.
You sure?
So, I
No,
think a copy needs to be given to Tequila, cause she is the clerk and she's the custodian of records. And if a copy is requested, it needs to be provided under the
Is it
Sunshine Law.
exactly?
And it needs to be in our packet as well.
But if you don't know about it, it's hard to do.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not fair to her though.
I didn't say it was.
Okay, but you have been provided a copy for weeks now, and she doesn't have a copy, and it should be on file with the clerk. So she can't provide something she doesn't have.
Are you sure you didn't get it with all this? I think you didn't close. Yes.
Lawrence,
Yes.
the city council doesn't have a copy of this contract.
No.
Okay.
The
You say-
settlement agreement.
The settlement agreement.
Yes.
Okay, and that involved the insurance company.
It did.
Now, you said that you gave a copy to the mayor, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and Tequila doesn't have it, because whatever was sent in the mail did not arrive, and I understand that Tequila does the initial distribution for that, right or wrong, I don't know.
She's the custodian of records for the city. So,
So, since nobody knows where this contract is, does the insurance company have a copy?
I've got it. I've got a copy of it. And I think the mayor has got
Nobody's
it.
saying that, everybody's saying.
Can you provide a copy
I can
directly
provide a
to
copy.
Tequila?
I can provide a
Right.
copy directly to Tequila.
Well, then let's.
That makes perfect sense.
And give it to her too while you're at it. Yeah?
I can provide a copy to Keela. I
Has to come
cannot,
from the custodian.
unless the council authorizes me to send it directly through the newspaper, which they could.
If it's public record, I'll authorize you to do that, or to
Okay.
get it directly to Tequila so she can provide it.
Okay.
And I also think that that Tequila's been put in a terrible position, because it's been requested of her to send copies of these minutes that she also doesn't have. And so, wherever the breakdown is, we need to get it corrected. If the cemetery committee or any other committee is emailing them directly to the mayor, they need to email them to the city clerk, and then they need to be considered public record. And there was a meeting, and I just dropped the issue back several months ago, where there was a discussion about some minutes that you provided, that you took at the cemetery meeting, and we asked, you said they were incorrect, and we asked for.
So there's additional information, yes.
Okay, so there was information that took place at the meeting that didn't get recorded, and we asked for the minutes to be corrected and provided to us, and we've never gotten them. And I don't even really care about them anymore, but I think that's what she is referring to and what Melissa's referring to. And like I said, and so it's difficult for Keila to provide things if she doesn't have them. That's all I wanna say. And I think we need to make sure we correct that problem.
All right, anything else from the floor?
Do you understand the situation our town is dealing with right now? I mean, seriously, I'm being serious. You sit up there and you smile. This is not funny, Mike.
It's not funny.
No, so
but,
why are you
but
smiling?
I,
You stop. You stop.
listen.
I'm listening. I've listened for every meeting for months and months and months, and every time something is asked for, you point a finger somewhere else, and 90% of the time it's a tequila, and I'm tired of it. If you don't have the information, you need to get up and go get it.
I don't
It's
have.
ridiculous for our council to sit here uninformed, and look, you're smiling. It's not funny.
I always
This is
smile.
my
I smile at
hometown,
everything.
And I'm watching
I
you
smile at
disintegrate.
everything.
And all you wanna do
Anyway,
instead of
my
bringing
my
people
only
to
my
listen,
only
the only thing you want to do is go around and stir the pot. You have time to sit up and dig up armory minutes and this and that. Our town is suffering, and they need you to stand up as a leader if you're going to stand in this position. Otherwise, get out of the way for somebody who will.
Amen. Amen.
It is out of hand, and it's not funny, and it's not Tequila's fault, and it's not Lawrence's fault, and it's not the council's fault. They can't do anything if you're hiding all this information from them.
I don't hide any information.
You're hiding
This is the
everything. You
hey.
didn't talk
This is the
about
most.
Walmart,
This is the
you didn't
most
talk about
open.
Mobile,
This is the most open government ever. In the past, you had to pay 10 cents for every single page. And when I ran in 2015, I got a little stack of paper like that for $3. I asked for a set of. But the problem is,
you're changing the minutes, and when they come and they confront you about it, you look at.
I
Tequila.
changed the minutes?
Yes, you did. Yes, sir.
What
Tequila
minutes did
put
I
the
change?
minutes down. The day that they had the meeting about the impeachment, Tequila wrote the minutes down accurately. You went to the radio station and you recorded. 10 minutes later, you went back to the radio station. You recorded the ending a second time and changed them. And lo
well, I
and
didn't change
behold,
minutes. It's that's an announcement.
you
And
read the minutes and you said these are the minutes of the city council. Suddenly,
no,
lo
they're
and
not the minutes of the
behold,
city
those
council. It's
minutes
mayor's report.
changed.
But anyway,
And when the council said something to you about it, you looked at Tequila and said, well, why were they like that? This is out of hand.
thank you for your opinion. Any other business from the floor?
Christina, would you provide a list to Tequila of everything that you've requested again? And would you make sure that she has what has been asked for if it's public record? That Tequila has it to provide?
Yes.
Howard Carter. Hey, I got a question about the house Jerry was asking about. Is the city gonna pay for this house to be torn down? Have we got somebody certified gonna do it? If it is that big of a hazard, how's that taking place?
I'm not handling that end of it. I handled the process.
We're gonna tear it down. It's gonna be loaded in big 40-yard roll-offs, and Republic is going to take them to Poplar Bluff and treat it as special hazardous waste. And so I talked to. I talked to DNR. That's how we're doing that. And so anyway,
I guess my main
so
question is.
As far as who's paying for it, the
city's paying for it, but we're putting on the taxes.
There'll be a tax lien that's assessed against the property.
What company is, so I work with hazard material at work, and I know how it has to be cleaned up, and like he said, if you're dealing with like asbestos, it has to be sprayed down.
Right,
tint,
exactly.
So
Exactly.
Are we going that
There-
route,
there's
or
not-
we're just gonna let it?
There's not any asbestos in it.
So we ain't worried about the asbestos.
If it's that big a hazard though, don't you have to have somebody certified to clean it up, or is it?
It's according to what the age is.
Well, I guess I'm asking, are we gonna do it with the city's backhoe, or are we having a company come in and do it? That way we know it's done right.
At this point, we're having the city's going to tear it down and dump and roll it and put it in these roll-offs.
So it's really not that big a hazard.
It's really not that big.
Well,
Or we're gonna give it to all the neighbors.
Anyway, I had all the trees taken down, and moved electric pole and all the gas and stuff, and so this is the cheapest way. This is the cheapest way that we found to do it.
For me to pay you for the property and you not have to deal with it.
But like I said, he's been dead 3 years nearly.
It takes 4 to buy
Home tax.
it within 90 days at the tax sale. It takes 4 years.
It's not ours to sell.
At the tax sale.
Well, then it shouldn't be your house.
I just don't think the city should take that cost if you got somebody wanting it. And if it's that big a hazard, we need to have a company come in and clean it up, because we're not certified to do that as a city. I mean, I know Randall personally, I like Randall, but he's not certified to do that just because he can run a backhoe.
I was running back to the electric tear it down, but
That's all
I want
I
to
got.
remodel the house.
If it's hazardous, if there's hazardous waste
Hmm.
in there, isn't there?
So you're gonna tear it down
a
with
code
backhoe
that you
and
have to
contaminate
follow
the
when you're
neighborhood if it's hazardous waste?
demolishing it?
We'll take a look at that and see.
Right. Jimmy lives right down the street.
I mean, I see their
Hazardous
All right.
floating around his house.
Next thing, an introduction to bills, an ordinance
Wait a
imposing.
minute, wait a
Okay.
minute. I mean, we're sitting here as council members,
Yes.
again, if that house is that hazardous, which I understand from listening to y'all talk, that it seems like it probably is, can we go in there and just knock it down? Or do we have some guidelines that we have to follow in demolishing that piece of property? I think that's what he's asking.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I.
Okay, so are we going to have someone that's certified in demolishing and cleaning up hazardous?
DNR. I'll send you the email that DNR sent me.
Okay, well, I just want to answer so we all know.
They said exactly how to do it, and I contacted Republic, and they said, I mean, it's not cheap, and they're going to take it to Poplar Bluff, to a special place to dispose of the house.
Okay, and I
And
understand that part.
it's extremely noxious inside.
So the city employee that we're putting in a position to tear that house down.
You need to talk to
how-
Terry. That's
I'm just wanting to make sure our employees are protected.
okay. Yeah, I got that.
Okay, are they
I'm
going
sure.
to be
I'm sure that
protected?
they'll be dressed appropriately.
But the neighbors.
Yeah, I mean, I live directly next door. I mean, this house is 100 foot from my house. So if it's so hazardous that I can't go in there, but you can come over there with a backhoe and just tear it open and tear it down and throw it in dumpsters.
I'm sure they're going to be very careful.
Oh,
And
I'm sure they will be.
Would you check into this before we go over there and start?
I'll take a look at it closer.
Yeah,
Before we go start knocking it down?
Yeah.
Would you check into it? To make sure, all I want to do is make sure.
Make sure our guys are safe and the neighbors are safe.
And CC the rest of the council in on that email.
Okay. I'll take a look.
all right, now, are we ready for bills and introduction of bills? We have an ordinance imposing a use tax for general revenue purposes of 1.5% for a special election in April 2018.
Lawrence, I don't know about everybody else, but I'd like to know a little more about this before I just approve this ordinance.
Okay.
You know,
I don't know what it
you
is.
said the other night that there's no, if we don't put it on the April ballot, we can put it on the August ballot, right?
You can, yes. There's no time, there's no deadline for doing it. If you put it on the August ballot, it will cost, some money to conduct the election. Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood,
Yeah.
3,500, 5,000, somewhere. I've seen it, in that.
Y'all ready to do this? Y'all feel comfortable with it?
Is there any way to tell, get an idea of how much revenue this could generate?
No,
for us
I
at all?
don't have a clue as to how much it would. You might,
Wait to see how South Bend, what it does for them?
yeah, or Kennett has, I think Kennett has imposed this maybe at the last, maybe in November or
Didn't they try to do it and something didn't happen right?
Well,
They did
there
it
was some,
again?
yeah, there was, but I think
Some
they did it.
wording was wrong
I think
or
they did it,
something,
I think
so
they did it and they got it imposed though eventually. I believe.
I think, yeah, they did it, but it took them 2 tries for
Yeah,
some reason.
that's
I can't
what-
remember what it was about though.
So you might talk to Kennett and see what their experience has been with their collections on the use tax. If you do want to get it on this ballot, this is your last meeting before the deadline to do that. But there's no requirement that you do it now. You could wait until later.
So, you want on April or August?
Does anybody have any knowledge?
Well,
or-
it costs at least $3,500, $5,000 to do it in August.
Okay. Well, are you, what is your recommendation? Do you have a thought about it?
Do I have a problem with it?
I said, do you have a thought about it?
We did make a little brochure earlier, and it's difficult to ascertain exactly how much you would make off of it, and it is basically voluntary. Is that correct? Kinda.
Well, it's not voluntary on on people who have to pay a use tax. I mean, that's a mandatory item. Now, with respect to out-of-state vendors, it is voluntary.
Okay.
So they don't necessarily have to collect and pay over the use tax. Like I said, there's a reporting requirement with the income tax return, the state income tax return, that has the use tax return on it. If your purchases are over a certain amount, and then have to.
Okay, so maybe we should study a little bit further and put it on the August ballot then. Okay, and you answer a whole bunch more questions because we're
Let's see
backed
if
up.
it passes it still, and if it does, then let's see kind of
how they get along.
how it works for them, and then
feel
we
better
can,
about having more time.
and then we can study it a little more and
Yeah.
reconsider it.
There's other town. It's been going on about a year now.
Oh no, the use taxes. I mean, I think that the city even put this on the ballot years ago, if I recollect correctly.
Well, as far as the Missouri Municipal League kind of pushing it, it's been about a year.
Yes. What really caused the impetus is that Amazon said they'd start collecting the use tax and paying the use tax. That's what really.
Okay.
That was the big one that really drove this. So.
All righty. Okay. So we'll let that go. Resolution and motions, or we want to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Grayson,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Bulletin, Rittenberry,
Yes.
Meredith.
Yes.